My name is Tanika Harper, and my big idea is that entrepreneurship is freedom. And when I say entrepreneurship is freedom, it's not necessarily financial freedom, which that helps, but it was always freedom over my time. Because I'm a single parent and I have a daughter, and she's very athletic. And at the time, she was a competitive gymnast. And I wanted to be there. Like, I wanted to be at her practices. I wanted to be able to travel. We traveled a lot. And working a 9-to-5 just did not allow me that freedom to be able to do that. But entrepreneurship did. And so the money, obviously, you needed to pay your bills and to travel and to do the things that you need to do. But it was really so that I could be invested in her life and that I could be present. And so more than anything, it is freedom over my time. And I've been really able to be the parent that is present.
Talk about being present I think that's interesting because you used the word invest. And I love that because I think all too often we think about investment only in terms of capital, right? In terms of money in the bank, but there is an investment of time, of resources, of talents that as time moves forward, we don't get back. So talk about how entrepreneurship, is an investment in your case, in your family, but also in yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of my family, it's one thing to be able to put money towards something. And in this case with my daughter, I could have paid for her to go to gymnastics. I could have sent her on these competition trips with another family. I could have done that. But that would not have been the same for her if I had shown up. And so I think being present and showing up for your kids and showing up for your family is the one thing that we have to do if we don't do anything else. And then not only showing up for our family, but showing up for ourselves. So my happy place is traveling. Well, if I'm stuck in a box and I don't get to do that, I'm very unhappy. But entrepreneurship allows me to invest in myself. Yeah, it takes money for me to travel, but I'm my best self when I can get away and I can restore, I can relax, I can recharge and come back and be a better person. So I think it all goes hand in hand is this holistic approach of what entrepreneurship can do for someone. And so for me, it's been able to, one, be able to do the things that I love and the things that I like, but more importantly, be there for my family and be there for myself in ways that I needed the most.
Well, I think that's a good segue into sort of being there for your family. I want to talk about being there for your community because talk a little bit about your development of Harper's Naturals. So we'll go there first. And then I also want to talk about your involvement as an investor, as a community leader. I think you saw a need and you developed a product that seemed to help you, right? And you knew that it would help and it would help others. So talk a little bit about your journey there of founding a project or founding a product, founding a company, and allowing that freedom to grow and to grow with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So with Harper's Naturals, I kind of started playing around with the idea of Harper's Naturals, which is a natural skincare company, in 2014 after I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. So with that, I had to eliminate chemicals on my skin through cosmetics. Because what we put on our skin, which is the largest organ, it filters into our body. And it causes a lot of reactions. So with that, again, going back to the first investment in self, I didn't just wake up and have this new idea of like starting a business to generate revenue. I did something because I had a need and I realized there are thousands and millions of people out there like me who need truly pure, wholesome ingredients in their skincare products. And then I also, throughout the years have developed and became the founder and co-founder of a couple of nonprofits here in Knoxville, Tennessee, Shore Foundation and the Women. And those investments into the community are through economic development opportunities and access to social and financial capital for our entrepreneurs to be able to thrive and survive in an area where almost half of the Black population lives in poverty. And again, going back to entrepreneurship is freedom, I do believe that entrepreneurship is a way to get your leg up in the world in terms of that, financial freedom.
Well, and I think again, you say social and financial capital. You've spoken of your personal experience coming from Harper's Naturals. You literally scratched your own itch, right? Like
yeah,
you
absolutely.
said, I need this. Oh, wait a second. So do others. As the founder of the Shora Foundation, one, tell us what the Shora Foundation, what that does, and talk about maybe some of the instances where entrepreneurship or the ability to see yourself, for someone to see themselves in a new role has opened up opportunities they never thought possible.
Yeah, so Shora Foundation, our mission is to provide a safe place by creating opportunities and transforming communities. We have 2 programs with Shora Foundation. We have our academic center, which serves youth, and our initiatives are academic achievement, mental health, and food sustainability. We have our second program, the Roots Collective, which provides development opportunities and resources for primarily Black entrepreneurs, in and around the Knoxville community. And their initiative is just simply economic equity. And so, but at the same time, everybody doesn't need money. Some people need a mentor. Some people just need a social resource, a person that can help them get to the next level. Without some social capital, Harper's Naturals would have never landed in Mass General Store. It wasn't money that I needed to land in Mass General Store. I needed somebody who knew somebody. And so sometimes, that's all that we need. And I think because of my entrepreneurial journey, I have built an ecosystem of partners that want to walk alongside of me and the organizations that I'm a part of to be able to give back and invest back into the community. So I think my entrepreneurship journey has allowed me to meet people and have a Rolodex of people who I can call on when there's an under-resourced entrepreneur in need. I really believe that we should have this, learn, earn, and return kind of mentality. So I started out learning and I'm still learning, but I'm also at the place where I can give back and help people. And what better way than to help those who are in the margins?
I love that, the learn, earn, and return. And I think the cool thing about, we're talking about entrepreneurship in this context, but that being freedom, I think what that allows is a life that is a flywheel of knowledge. So the fact that you continue to learn, you hope that when you are 50, 60, 70, 80, you continue to learn and you continue to adapt and you continue to bring people up regardless of where they are in their own journey. So talk about that a little bit, about that sort of returning entrepreneurship. I think knowledge is freedom. And so the ability as an entrepreneur to learn, respond, and act, I think is one of the most important things that we can do.
Absolutely. I mean, for myself, I don't think my life would be fulfilled if I just reaped. So I find fulfillment in giving back, right? I tell people that life is not about you. It never was. So we have to find ways where we receive, but we also give. And I just think that's the circle of life. So, and again, the entrepreneurship allows me to be able to do that. It allows me to say on Fridays, I'm giving back. I'm having a networking event. I'm having a free workshop, right? A 9-to-5 where I have to, get PTO doesn't allow me that flexibility. And so entrepreneurship for me allows me to reap and give.
And so let's talk a little bit about the Women LLC.
Yeah.
Because, we've talked about social capital. We've talked about mentorship. We've talked about that time as a resource. But the Women it's very much about money. It's about capital.
Absolutely.
It's about resourcing. Talk about your experiences with, what is the Women? Why did you guys kind of come together to do this? And what has been the effect on the businesses and the people you've been able to connect with?
Yeah, the Women Foundation, we were founded in 2020. Black Knoxvillians make up 17% of the population, but 42% of the poverty rate. And I was mad about that. And I should have been, right? That's something you get mad at. And I was having conversations with other people in our community, particularly other Black women. We were all mad. And so, we said, okay, well, we can be mad and we can keep talking about it, or we can do something about it. We came up with the Women Foundation, and we were like, what is the one thing that people need who are in poverty or who are under-resourced or who are struggling, who can't walk into a bank and ask for $2,000 or $3,000 to start their business or to grow their business? What do they need? And overwhelmingly, we said money, right? You cannot start a business. You cannot grow a business without financial capital. And everybody doesn't need $50,000 to do it. And so we started the Women Foundation off of a community fund. We kicked off this campaign and we asked people to donate $5 a month. And that $5 a month would go back into the community, and we would invest in, Black entrepreneurs. And that's what we've done. We've been able to give out microloans, interest-free microloans to Black entrepreneurs in our city to help launch or grow their business. And we put on a pitch contest this year for the first time, and we gave away $10,000 to some entrepreneurs. And so it's unprecedented in our city what the Women Foundation is doing, and we're really, really happy about the progress that we've made and where we're going.
Well, and I think one of the best things that I hear you saying is the word "we."
Absolutely.
I think, and I think like that's one of the coolest things. So speak a little bit about entrepreneurship as a shared experience, because that freedom, yes, entrepreneurs you feel like you're the only one. You're sort of out there on an island by yourself, but talk about, oh, wait a second. There's all these other folks that are here with me and are here and want you to succeed. So talk about that a little bit.
Well, first of all, entrepreneurship takes a village. You don't get anywhere alone. And I have not. With every failed venture and, successful venture, I've had a mentor, and I make sure I have people that walk alongside of me who know better than I do. And it goes back to always learning, right? Always sitting at the feet of someone else so you can learn. But at the end of the day, I'm not in this alone, and I can't go forward by myself. It is always a we. Even with Harper's Naturals, whether it's family or friends or my daughter or mentors or a community of makers, it is always a we that helps me get to the next level. And so we cannot do entrepreneurship by ourselves. It's just simply impossible.
To wrap this up, we've talked about big level stuff, about entrepreneurship, about freedom, about your personal experiences, both as a founder of a company and a founder of a community and a leader, right? And what would you say to, that young person or that person? I say young person, but it could be any person that is thinking about maybe starting something for themselves, but maybe sees these insurmountable barriers, right? Some societal, some are our own making, right? So what do you see, or what would you say to that person that's like, well, maybe I should try this out?
Yeah, first I would say to anybody, figure out what type of life you want to live, and everything you should do should be about getting there. So if you have a goal to be an entrepreneur, right, maybe you can't do it today or maybe even tomorrow, but every decision you make should be working towards being that entrepreneur. And then you have to say no to everything else. And it is going to be hard. When I was in college and even right out of college, I was on food stamps. I had a living voucher where I was getting assistance to live. I was working 2 and 3 jobs at different points in my life, just trying to make ends meet. But I always moved forward to what I knew I wanted to be, to what I knew I wanted to do in life. So don't look at today's circumstances, right, and get defeated. You have to say, this is what I want for me, and everything that I do has to align with that so that I can be that. And so, yeah, it's going to be hard. Surround yourself with good people. Find someone who may be in the industry that you're trying and hoping to get into. Maybe they'll mentor you. But don't give up on bad days. Don't quit on a hard day. And that's what I tell my daughter when she comes home and she wants to quit whatever thing she's in at the moment because she's had a hard day. And I said, hey, if you come home happy and you just don't love it anymore, you can quit. But you can't quit on a bad day. And so don't quit on your bad days. Keep pushing and keep going towards the goal.